Hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host and WWE enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing NXT November 14, 2023 edition. And this edition of NXT, well, not really NXT's finest episode. There was really only a couple of good matches, so ultimately that's what we're going to be mainly talking about on this show. The rest of the matches and segments were just kind of either meh or below average, or just not good, meh or a miss. And with that, we're going to get right into the action, starting with the Brawling Brutes versus OTM, and this was the best match of the night, I would say, overall on the card. And Brawling Brutes and OTM have some chemistry. With more time, this could have been something, and that may be coming down the line. Right now, Borch and Holland are working on a bigger stage in OTM. Nima and Prince have shown serious potential as a hard-hitting tag team, but we'll need more time to put it all together. If Brawling Brutes are to remain in NXT any longer, they should continue to deliver quality performances like this one. And then you had the main event, Baron Corbin versus Wesley. And this did not feel like a main event of the usual caliber for NXT. Corbin has been solid in NXT, but there was no heat or stakes for this match. And while this was, well, actually, yeah, I know I said the tag team match was the best match of the night. Actually, that was best match of the night up until the main event, where Corbin versus they ended up being match of the night. But that says more about what the rest of the card than the actual quality of this match. Now, Corbin should be a capable challenger for Dragunov, but it is unlikely the two will reach the heights that the Mad Dragon did when he had that trilogy with Carmelo Hayes. Granted, I think it's unfair to compare any title defense Dragunov has with the trilogy he had against Carmelo Hayes. That is a part of his championship legacy, and again, don't really compare any other match to it. And Corbin is a fine challenger, but I don't mean to say he's a terrible in-ring talent. He is good in the ring, and I don't think he quite gets enough recognition, but he's never really known for great matches. So this match isn't going to be as great as the trilogy, but it should still be fine on its own. The Iron Survivor Challenge, though, might outshine it. Both matches, actually. Meanwhile, Wesley will continue to build to a rematch with Dominic Mysterio over the NXT North American title. However, that feud is going to need to heat up in the coming weeks to be exciting, because Lee was gone for so long, and while it's great to see him back, it is kind of anticlimactic that he comes back and ends up going right back to where he was instead of progressing. So in conclusion, this was an off week for NXT. While the next week set up some big championship matches, this show was left without any real spark. The best match of the night was Corbin versus Lee, but neither delivered more than their expected offense. JC versus the Family was a letdown due to the results and the drama overshadowing the action. Shows like this should at least bring more intrigue for big events to come, but Deadline is looking like a mixed bag at the moment. The men's Iron Survivor Challenge, though, is shaping up with a couple of big names so far. The women's match, well, it was a choice to put Lash Legend in there, but it shows NXT has trust in her to compete on a premium event, and this is going to be a huge moment for her to kind of show what she can do in such an important setting. Show how far she's show her progression in this kind of match. Lyra Valkyria will defend the NXT Women's title against Xia Li next week, and she looks likely to beat her. It's likely that she will beat her. I mean, can't say for certain 100%, but it seems likely that she will. And if that is the case, then she'll be left without a challenger for Deadline. Granted, there's still some time to come up with one, but are you going to be able to sell that match and sell the challenger as someone who could potentially dethrone the champion? And speaking of Lee and Valkyria, give credit to the production team for that little T segment, but the acting in that one was off. Even Dragunov has his title defense at Deadline set. The tag team division has been left in turmoil, with Andre Chase dropping the tag team titles and just giving them back to the Family, which basically makes JC winning the titles in the first place pointless. And it's likely there's going to be another multi-team belt for the NXT tag titles at Deadline if NXT decides they want a tag title match at Deadline, which honestly just sounds lazy. So overall, NXT has some work to do to get back on track, but Valkyria versus Lee and Dar versus Gable for the Heritage Cup next week. Show should be better. Show should rebound next week. And with that will conclude this episode of WWE Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.